What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What's going on, OTB Nation? We are back with another day of OTB Radio, joined by the man, the myth, the legend behind PLL Nation, my man BC. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great. Happy to be here.
We have a ton of stuff going on with PLL Nation here at Champ Series. Take me through just the process of preparing for an event like this and integrating everything that's going on with the app and PLL Nation for everybody that's here on site and everybody at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the big thing in the premise of PLL Nation is we have a ton of really, really passionate fans, and we wanted to figure out a way to really reward them for their loyalty and their commitment year over year. So, that's how PLL Nation started, and really what the goal is that, it's not just about how much you spend, but that only covers part of what it means to be a fan. So we want to make sure that we capitalize on anything from your performance and fantasy to, attending games is a huge one, to even, how much you actually try to grow the game and spread the word as well. So we're really trying to make sure that we're really rewarding those that are going throughout and helping spread the game, because that's where it's going to come from. It's going to come from the fans.
I was talking to Mike Rabel on Wednesday, and he said, to try and make this app as smooth and seamless as it can be, because so many people do have app fatigue. It's like, what makes this app stand out so much? And I think fans at home, and myself and DJ in particular, using it to prep for the pod, there's so much value that you get out of the app, from, like you said, fantasy to having every team's roster readily available for you, to live updates on scores. What goes into just making sure that the app has everything that a fan needs?
Well, I think I'll give a shout out to the Discord crew too, because they've been super helpful, and those fans in there are legends. And so what we really did from the start was we just talked to all the fans and understood a lot about, hey, what do you want to see? What really defines you as a fan, and what do you need to see in the app? And so, that was step one, and then we continued, even still now, we continue to try to understand more and more what fan wants. And what we've kind of see is it's really different. It's different when you talk to different fans. So that's where kind of that personalization side of the app comes in, where, you can tell us exactly what you're looking for, and we'll try to make sure that you get the right content to you at the right time.
This past season, you guys were the first app and first league ever to have digital integration into a broadcast. I just got the notification on the app now. We're doing it again today on Sunday. What goes into that process, kind of working alongside with an ESPN to make sure that goes smooth and is able to be readily available for the fans watching at home too?
Yeah, I mean, when we came to ESPN with that, they got it immediately, and they were like, "Oh, that's a great idea, absolutely." And so we kind of, we're like, all right, how do we figure out how to give fans credit for watching in real time? And so we brought up to ESPN this idea of getting the code on, and the technology that goes into it is really interesting. But it's done really well. I've seen a lot of the talks on across social and on Discord and all that. People really excited about, oh, did you see the code there? So again, it's all about just giving fans credit for supporting the league and growing the game. So that was just another level of what we tried to experiment with.
What went into just the development of the XP model and getting people kind of into the app? Was that kind of the premise? It was like, hey, we're going to reward you for just coming into the app every day, and it kind of just evolved from there?
Yeah, I'd like to say kind of we call it gamification, but that idea like XP of hey, doing things to earn, it's a pretty universal language. And so we kind of wanted to find something that fans understood. But it needs to have some way to actually track your progress. So from when you're a brand new fan to one of those MVPs that have some really cool rewards, if we gave MVPs a year of ESPN Plus on us, tickets, they can get all that stuff. It's just rewarding them, based on how much time they're committing, because we know you can spend time elsewhere, and so we're really, really excited that you're spending it with us, and we want to reward you for it.
And I think the cool part too that this past season, if you're on location, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, and you go and find that QR code in the Premier Zone, and you're able to get a ton of XP just for being at a live event. I think that whole process of like the on-site gamification, like you said, is such a cool feature.
Yeah, well, we know that if you actually go to a game, right, like the atmosphere here, if you bring friends to the games too, like they become fans for life. And so we, again, want to just reward you for coming to the game, going throughout, really experiencing and kind of using those different codes that you can scan it all out as a way to really walk you through the event so that you can get to all the best activations and have the best time you can.
We were talking earlier this week about the fantasy component, and I think the PLL fantasy is such a unique approach to fantasy sports where you kind of combine the fans that want to put the GM hat on and you're using a salary cap while also trying to fit the best players into the small roster space that you have. What kind of was the model of your guys' development of fantasy for the PLL?
Yeah, so we looked a lot about fantasy early on, and one thing we want to do, make sure you have those times where you draft a team and you just get the bad luck or player gets hurt, all that stuff. We wanted week over week, because the PLO changes so much, we wanted to have people be able to go in. There's a lot more levels of strategy in this. Like it was really cool to see. Some people were talking about, like you got to have like a really good player and then save those coins for another one. Others are like, here's the different strategy. So there's so many different strategies, and I think that as the fantasy culture in lacrosse evolves, fantasy's huge in other sports. We're going to see some really interesting strategy come out, and we've just seen the culture of fantasy and lacrosse grow like crazy.
And I somehow got the best of everybody. I got Matt DeLuca on my fantasy team this week.
You're set.
I'm set at the goalie position for sure. What are some things that fans can look forward to this coming year with the app? I'm sure, every week it feels like something new is coming, and it's an improvement on the app. I think one of the subtle improvements I've noticed is just the banner notification you get if you haven't logged in for the day. Hey, you're about to lose streak, get your XP. What are some things that could be coming down the pipeline that fans should be excited about with the app?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're always trying to look at like different ways that fans can engage during the game, and even kind of do some cross. We know that college lacrosse is huge with our fans, so we introduced with the help from TLN, introduced like college pick'em and college predictor. So like really just trying to just find more and more ways to engage during games and have like fun ways to bond with your kids or like banter with your friends. So that's a big one. I think the next big theme we're looking for is around building out communities around the teams, especially now that we're local. So there's things in the pipeline like being able to chat and message others and fans to really like build so that if you're a fan of the Archers, like you can come in here and talk game with other Archers fans, like-minded fans.
Who is the genius behind the daily trivia? Because some of those questions I'm like, okay, I got this, and then other days I'm like, who spent the meticulous time of conjuring up some of these questions?
Oh yeah. The people that put together, sometimes they're a little bit deviant. Yeah, I've been caught on some trick questions. They're really good. But yeah, we like to kind of ask a lot of people from the PLL. Some people come up with really difficult questions. Some come up with ones that trick you. I've been tricked plenty of times for sure.
Absolutely, and I mean it's just so fun to have so many different avenues in the app that you can kind of travel to each and every day, from the trivia to fantasy, keeping up with games, following your favorite players and teams. I think the app has revolutionized what every sports league should be looking to have from an app for their league. And I think it's only going to get better. And you guys hooked us up this week in the app too. Make sure you redeem code OTB Pod in the app and you get 500 XP in the app. That's a lot of XP. You don't want to miss out on that one. So use code OTB Pod in the PLL app. Download that app. Support the PLL. Support us. And BC, thanks for hopping on, man.
Thanks. This is a pleasure.